Right then, so Anthony Cacage beat Josh Warrington via unanimous decision. And the scorecards were ridiculously bloody wide in this fight. 118, 110 Cacage, and then like 117, 111s. Joke, I thought that this was a really, really, really close fight, in my opinion. I think it could have gone either way. I think you can make an argument for Josh Warrington actually winning the fight. But yeah, very poor judging, of course. But what do you expect these days, though? That's the thing. I mean, it was poor in the Hutchison-Boatsy fight as well. But what do you expect these days? Good fight. Good, entertaining fight, in my opinion. I predicted it to be fight of the night, and it was certainly a very, very, very good one as well, in my opinion. Cacage was good. I thought Cacage was good from range. That's where we mostly needed that because, like, we all know how dangerous Josh Warrington is when the fight gets up close. And Warrington was very good at sneaking some good shots in there, which I think went a little bit unnoticed from a good few people. And yeah, I wanted Cacage to win, but I thought Warrington a lot of the times was putting in better work. I thought Warrington was going to the body really well, landing some sneaky shots up top as well. But overall, I think power punches, Cacage probably landed more. I thought Cacage, was good at range. He was good behind his lead hand at times, and Cacage was good at setting up his shots behind his lead hand. Warrington was good in the clinches, in my opinion. He needed to be active in those clinches. I mean, he could have done that a little bit more at times earlier on in the clinches, but later on in the later stages, Warrington was active in those clinches, which is, what we needed to see from Josh Warrington in the clinches. Needed to be active, needed to try and rough up Cacage, and that's what Warrington was able to do. Cacage was able to catch Warrington a good few times with some great shots, though, throughout that fight. And you can't really argue with who wins. Cacage was... I thought, when Cacage used the jab, he was good and he set up his shots well. But again, he could have been more active behind the lead hand, even though, when Cacage was doing his work, it came from the lead hand, but he could have done that a little bit more, in my opinion, to be that bit more convincing. But I mean, in the judges' hands, and he was really bloody convincing from what they saw in their eyes, but it wasn't overly convincing overall, in my opinion. But yeah, overall, it was a good fight. We were entertained by it, and that's the most important thing at the end of the day. I've seen many mixed people scoring it a draw, people scoring it to Cacage, people scoring it to Warrington. I thought it was good. I thought it was close. I thought Cacage was strong in the first round. I thought Warrington was good in the second and third. Then I thought middle rounds were kind of even. There was stuff happening in both. There were some very close rounds in that fight where you could have given either way. I thought it was a ridiculously close fight, though. And, Warrington was landing very sneaky shots in there, which did damage. I also think something that has to be said as well. Cacage was robbed off of a knockdown in that fight, which was said to be a slip for Warrington. I forgot what round was it in. I'm just double checking what round it was in. Round 12, yeah, it was in the last round where Cacage caught Warrington, but it was awarded as a slip. But no, it was definitely a knockdown in that last round for Cacage. Definitely, Cacage dropped Warrington in that last round, but it wasn't awarded as a knockdown. But yeah, I think a lot of power punches came from Cacage. I thought Warrington was smart with his work, though, with what he was doing. It was clear Warrington's game plan. He was trying to break Cacage down to the body. Cacage wanted to keep Warrington at a good range. And also, Cacage was trying to lure Warrington into walking into his shots. That's what Cacage was able to do, and Cacage was able to get some good success with that as well. He did, of course, manage to get Warrington walking into shots. And yeah, that was good. Cacage was able to do some good damage to Warrington at a good range, at mid-range as well. Cacage was getting some good success, putting some good combinations together, mixing them in well. I thought Warrington could have done a little bit more headhunting, though. That's the thing. Cacage was better at mixing up his shots upstairs and downstairs. Warrington's shots was mostly just good, sneaky shots into the body. Did mix in the odd uppercut here and there, though, Warrington, but again, he could have done a little bit more headhunting in that fight and could have mixed his shots up more. And at times, he just seemed to be a bit predictable for Cacage, and Cacage knew what he was going to do because, Warrington was always going in with those body shots. But yeah, overall, good fight. I don't think you can complain either way with what way that could have gone, but the scorecards were an absolute blaze shambles. And also as well, Josh Warrington looked to retire after the fight, put his gloves down middle of the ring afterwards, and just walked off. So yeah, that's the sign of retirement. Warrington, to be fair, he's had a very good career. He's always been in good fights, to be fair to him, whether you don't like him or you like him. Warrington's always been in wars. So, Warrington's got that very, very, very entertaining style. And I'm not saying Cacage does that. I'm just saying because Warrington's retired. That's why we're talking about that. But yeah, he's always been great fights. The ones with Carl Frampton were very bloody good. This Cacage one was good. His fight with Lee Wood was very entertaining. And, very, earlier on in, Warrington's prime, that's when he was at his best. Very entertaining fighter. Never really ever been in a fight that's disappointed apart from his second fight with Lara. But yeah, overall, good fight, that one. You could give it either way, but you can make an argument for Warrington winning that fight. He was smart with what he was doing. But again, they were both setting some real good bloody traps for each other. But it just seemed at times Cacage was the more unpredictable one, using his footwork well. And Warrington kind of just walked forward into shots, which is what Cacage wanted him to do. So, yeah. You can make arguments for both, but yeah, you can't complain with Cacage winning apart from the bloody scorecards, really. But yeah, Cacage was putting his shots together better than Warrington was with how he was mixing them up. But again, Warrington was very sneaky with some that he was putting together and was clearly doing damage to Cacage. But yeah, at the end of the day, luckily, we haven't got the narrative where it's like, oh, they were trying to absolutely rob Cacage because, they kind of robbed him off that knockdown. Because in the end, clearly the judges weren't trying to rob him at all. They were so bloody generous to him. But yeah, anyway. Fact watch this video, Keon. I'll speak to you in a bit.